Ariat Heritage Ropers have been with me through a lot, and with harvest season here, I thought it was the perfect time for an update. I've had mine for almost 5 years, so in this video I'll cover fit, build, and durability while harvesting grapes at Airy Acres Vineyard. Let's get into it.
I'm just here to connect ya, and then I'll be on my way.
Hey everybody, my name is Jeremiah Craig. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, please subscribe. And don't forget to like and comment and share this video with somebody who you think might enjoy it. I thought it was time for a update on the Roper, and thanks to a member of the Boots and Ballads Bunkhouse membership program that I just launched on my website, they mentioned that they'd like to see a Roper update as well. So if you would like to see more content from me and have a say at what happens here on the channel, definitely check out the new membership program over at my website. Got a bunch of different levels, different tiers and perks for you who are looking for a little bit more content. Just head on over to jeremiahcraig.com/membership. So that's why we're featuring the Ariat Roper today. I've mentioned in the intro that I've had these boots for 5 years, but they definitely don't have 5 years of wear. I don't wear them during the summertime, really, just when the weather is nasty. So in the late fall, winter, early spring, these are truly shit kicker boots to me, but we had some beautiful weather for harvesting. The Ariat Heritage Ropers are made from full grain leather with no stitching on the toe or tops, except for a classic western flare around the collar, which is pretty standard for all Ropers. As I headed out through the rows of grapevines, I wondered what kind of grapes we were harvesting and how this year was for growing.
Today we harvested Lemberger, or Bluff Frankish as people call it. Dry year for sure, which there's pros and cons to every weather situation, but with a dry year it means less disease pressure and cleaner fruit, so that's the nice thing. Cleaner fruit, a little bit better quality fruit for sure. We got a lot of it this year, maybe because of the wet spring, but either way we got a lot of grapes. Is going to make some delicious wine, so good year.
I'm so happy it was a good year for these Finger Lakes vineyards. Now let's get to harvesting. This isn't my first time harvesting grapes, and it's really as straightforward as you would guess. Just clip them off at the stem and put them in the bin. The lower heel on these Ariat Ropers makes it easy to stand strong in the field that's not quite even, and the rubber outsole doesn't have a ton of traction, but it's durable in most every situation outside of drastic heat. With the family and friends of Airy Acres, harvest went quickly, and soon rows were full of bins like this, so it was time to collect all the grapes so they could be taken to the processing facility for the first step in winemaking. It was a lot of work keeping up with the tractor and pouring in all the harvested grapes, but the Ariat Ropers are extremely lightweight. They feel more like sneakers when you're wearing them, so it's easy to keep up a high level of hustle. Usually they would have a machine harvest all the grapes and do this work, but this is a special case.
Lemberger's a red grape, and for fun I decided to make white wine out of it, so no skin contact, so white wine out of a red grape. This is the second year that we made it. It was so popular last year that it sold out in only a couple months, so we're making 3 times as much this year.
Machines can't be as gentle as human harvesters, so when a machine harvests grapes, some of the juice is pressed out of the grapes and sits with the skins. Now, if you're trying to make a white wine with red grapes, those skins can't sit in the juice, or else the juice will start to become a little red, so the grapes have to be harvested by hand. Once we filled a container, we'd go down another row. It was row after row, and there was lots of time standing on my feet. On the inside of these Ariat Ropers, we have a pigskin-lined top, which doesn't breathe as well as cowhide, a cloth-lined foot as well, and a removable insole that you can see is fraying and peeling. These boots don't really have a lot of arch support, but that's not really a quality of most Ropers. But still, spending all day on your feet in a boot with an older insole does make your feet a little tired. When we were finished for the day, I had to ask Noah how much we'd harvested.
Roughly 3 tons or 6,000 pounds to make Blanc de Blau. This year's harvest, besides having some nice clean fruit, we're also going to be making some more weird wines. In particular, we're going to harvest some Marcazzatelli, and we're going to do a skin ferment of that, which is the first one we've ever done of that, so that'll be fun.
On my way out, I had to see what they tasted like on their own, and those Lemberger grapes sure are tasty. What an awesome experience in these Ariat Heritage Ropers. I'm looking forward to trying that Airy Acres Blanc de Blau. I mean, making a white wine out of a red grape is really interesting. And I tried last year's Blanc de Blau. It was really good, so I'm happy that they're making 3 times as much this year. Let's go! The Ariat Roper held up great in that situation. I mean, those conditions were very easy and pretty much the simplest that this boot has seen. Usually I'm wearing it in the winter time, in the snow, in the rain, in the mud, something like that. In the salt, in very salty conditions. Up here in the Northeast, we use salt on the snow and on the sidewalks and stuff, and it just eats up shoes like crazy. So I don't really care about this boot. I don't care. At $169, it's not a big deal if this cracks, if this tears, if this rips. I don't care. But it's still here. It's still doing all the stuff. So, I mean, that says something for a boot that's priced at $169. It is a budget boot. It is a shit kicker. And it does have certain value-added characteristics for me that I like about it. Number one, it has lots of different width sizes. It's got narrow, average, and wide, right? And then in those sizes, you have up to 15. I don't think the narrow, I think that only goes up to 13, but still. The fact that they have so many different width sizes, so many different sizes altogether, is a huge value add, especially for such a budget boot. It's not repairable, all right? Although technically some cobblers would say, no, any shoe or boot is repairable. Sure, you could repair this boot if it gets a hole in the outsole eventually. You could resole it. But here's what you have to do. Since it doesn't have a real welt on here, the cobbler would have to sew on a real welt. They may have to replace the insole, and then they would have to replace the outsole. They would also have to do the heel, because the heel and the outsole is just one piece. So you're looking at $200-300 plus worth of work on a $169 boot? I don't think so. They're made to be thrown out and then to buy another pair, which could say that it's not as sustainable as a lot of cowboy boots are, and that's respectable. I agree. I think one of the greatest things about cowboy boots are that they are repairable. So this kind of falls in a weird place for me. I appreciate how cheap it is. I appreciate the fact that I don't have to care about it. I appreciate that it is a shit kicker, but it's also pretty much just going to be thrown out because it's cheaper to buy a new one than it is to get this one repaired if I were to, run a hole through the outsole. Still, that is the case with a lot of boots under $200. Most of them are not going to be able to be repaired at a price point that is reasonable, that you wouldn't want to just buy another boot anyways. So for a boot under $200, I have to say that I really like this one for everything that it has. I prefer a boot that is made traditionally, that can be repaired, and you can certainly find used boots for $200 or less that are traditionally made, but definitely not new boots. So the fact that this is such a great price point for a shit kicker, you can just throw it on, you don't care about it, and it can just deliver, I respect it. I respect the Ariat Heritage Roper for what it is, and I will continue to wear it in those nasty situations, and we'll see how long I get out of it. What do you guys think about the Ariat Heritage Roper? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching today, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
The Ropers are just shit kickers, great boots for great pickers. They won't win a gold sticker. The Ropers are just shit kickers. Thanks so much for watching today. Why don't you check out the original Ariat Roper video up here. Or I got a music video down here I think you might enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe up here, and I will see you next time. Peace. Have a good one.